This is hilarious. These medical assignments are really funny. Did the new chief and the ex-chief come up with these together?
Steve is running the ER trauma unit, as you know, during his suspension, and it is my new responsibility.
You know, the first time, Robin, it was mildly amusing that you gave me some bush league procedure that an intern could do on their first day. But the fourth time, this little prank's getting a little old.
It's not a prank.
So you're saying there's nothing in this hospital that is deserving of my time and expertise?
I'm saying that as acting chief of staff, that is my call, not yours.
Who are you and what have you done with the mother of my child?
Come on, you know once we walk through those doors, it's all business.
Oh, did you go back out and come back in as chief because you've only had the job for 2 hours?
As acting chief of staff, it is my responsibility to run this hospital efficiently.
Well, this hospital pays me a boatload of money because I am a world-class surgeon, not to put too fine of a point on it.
That's great. I'm only making some adjustments.
You're overreacting. That's not an adjustment.
Look at this chart and put a team together.
As top administrator, you should be maximizing your staff.
I put a lot of thought into the surgical rotation. Do not take it personally.
Robin, you have me removing nasal polyps.
Look, Steve did an excellent job as being chief of staff, but there is also room for improvement, and now is my chance to implement them.
Okay, let me ask a question. How is it improving the hospital when you have the best surgeon doing some hokey situation like this?
Well, I'm glad you asked, because the other two surgeons, Matt and Marucci, they also need a chance to be challenged and therefore improve.
Okay, if you had a Ferrari, would you let a guy work under the hood that didn't know how to change the oil?
So not the same
It's
thing.
pretty much the same thing.
These are highly qualified
surgeons. It's just a
surgeons.
suggestion, acting chief of staff.
Just a suggestion, you are one member of a team. The days of you hogging all the best cases are over. I'm spreading the love. If you thought that I was only going to keep Steve's seat warm and maintain the status quo while he's on suspension,
Wow, did you
you're
just
mistaken.
say status quo isn't saving lives status quo? You better not let the board hear that. And just to let you know, I have a proven track record.
You didn't always have that record.
No, but I didn't get it by getting freebies and handouts.
This is not a freebie or a handout. This is an opportunity for the other surgeons to have more challenging cases.
You just said that the patient deserves the best care possible. That is me.
Okay, what if you have too many cases or you're not here and a really difficult one comes up?
Then those other cutters get their opportunity then.
An opportunity that only comes around when you're on a, I don't know, NASCAR weekend. I want to improve quality patient care by raising the bar by giving those surgeons more opportunities.
Robin, that plan sounds great on paper, but in the real world where there's lives on the line, that's not going to happen. I am better, I am faster, which means the patient gets better care.
Are you sure you're fighting for the patients?
How dare you say that?
I mean, you know, you do have a big ego. Maybe you're afraid Matt and Marucci are going to show you up.
I'm not afraid of competition.
Good. We're going to get it.
Hey!
Hi.
What's all this?
Toys. And Emma has pretty much outgrown them, so it's everything except the sparkly ballerina stuff, which I don't think Ada would enjoy.
Thank you. That's awfully thoughtful.
That's really more a matter of self-preservation. It is incredible to me how much one child can accumulate. I mean, it was practically taking over our house.
Oh, believe me, I know it. So what are you doing bringing this all over now? I mean, shouldn't you be in a lab hunched over a petri dish or something?
Well, as of this morning, I'm no longer working in the lab.
Is it because Siobhan is suing the hospital?
Okay, well, you know, as you know, they suspended Steve.
Right.
But he suggested that I be the acting chief of staff.
You? I'm sorry, I didn't mean it like that.
It's okay.
But you?
It's okay. It was Patrick's reaction, too. I guess you should get used to it.
Wow, I didn't realize it was something that you'd be up to doing.
Well, I was practically given the job.
Good for you.
I hope so. And I hope it will be good for the hospital. I've already ruffled a few feathers.
Any feathers in particular?
Our prized peacock. He will no longer have his pick of surgeries. You know, I think it's important to shake things up a little bit.
Wow, I wish I could be there to see all that.
Well, it is a long way from saying you're going to file a lawsuit and actually going through with it. I mean, no one believes for 1 second that you gave Siobhan the wrong meds. I have every faith that things will work out for you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And I appreciate you all coming to my defense. Lucky is talking to Siobhan as we speak. He's letting her know that I have said my fair share of lies, but I draw the line when it comes to killing his wife.
That can't be easy for a lot of reasons.
I really just wish I could be one of those selfless people that says I'm okay with Lucky and I going our separate ways, and then I just want him to be happy, which, you know, I really do. But the truth is, I just want him to really be happy with me.
Hey, man. Listen, I talked to Siobhan, and she decided to drop the malpractice suit.
Wow, that's that's welcome news. Thank you very much. Let me just say that we're all sorry about what happened to Siobhan. Mistakes were made, not only Elizabeth in the OR, everybody on staff. She wasn't ready to go back to work, and we covered for her.
Now, I understand why Elizabeth wanted to keep working. You know, losing Jake tore a hole in the middle of our lives, and you just try to hang on to anything you can, get through the day.
Well, it sounds like your relationship with Siobhan is important to her. The fact that she would understand that. Obviously, your marriage means a lot to her.
So it would seem.
Yeah, well, I guess with the lawsuit dropped, we can all try and move on, right?
Yeah, it sounds good, doesn't it? It's nice to say that. You know, the thing is, Patrick, when you lose a kid, there's no moving on. Jake's gone. It's just the way it is. And now my father took off. Brother's gone. Elizabeth, I don't even know.
You know, Lucky, you have a son to raise now. All those milestones. His first word, his first step. You know, I talked to Nicholas a few times about parenthood, and it was pretty easy to see how dedicated he was. I'm sure it must have been difficult to hear that Aiden wasn't his.
Yeah, that's an understatement. You know, he could have fought to hold on to him, but in the end, he decided to do what was best for Aiden.
Well, kind of sounds like that's what Siobhan's doing. Now you and Elizabeth can raise your boy without that lawsuit hanging over your head.
Okay, you're gonna be a good friend and pretend that you didn't hear any of that.
I am happy that you admitted you still love Lucky.
He's married.
It was a green card wedding. He married her to keep her in the country.
I think he really likes her.
Well, Lucky is a good guy. I mean, if he makes a commitment. But if she follows through with this malpractice suit, she will be on the next boat to Ireland. Trust me.
Okay, it's like you said, it's no secret that I will always love him. And now he's Aiden's father, and it just so happened that his wife showed up on the operating table, and that I'm assisting in the surgery. Is it really that big of a leap to imagine that I could have...
Is it that big of a leap that you, drank the same water as Lisa Niles, and now all of a sudden you're a crazy ex trying to kill his wife? Yes, that is a huge leap. That is Grand Canyon-esque, okay? You're making it sound reasonable that this woman is suing you.
I'm just acknowledging that I was at fault and that it was a terrible, terrible mistake.
Made all the more complicated because of Lucky. And if Siobhan loves him, which I guess she does, she's probably jealous of you. She sees exactly what everyone sees, that you will always love Lucky and he will always love you. You're smiling.
All is right in the world, my darling. Lucky just informed me that Siobhan dropped the lawsuit against us.
It's good news.
Yeah, it's good news. You don't sound surprised.
Well, I'm not really. I had a feeling that Lucky would be able to talk some sense into Siobhan. I'm just happy that it happened sooner rather than later, so I don't have to focus on damage control and I can worry about running this hospital.
Actually, I would imagine that with the lawsuit being dropped, that the board would reinstate Steve as chief of staff.
Oh, that's why you're so happy. You're excited for things to get back to normal so you can have your pick of cases again.
No, I just thought that you'd like to get back to doing what you love to do instead of scheduling.
I also love to schedule. And you know, I used to talk about how I thought Steve could do things better around here. And now I have the chance to make some big positive changes in this hospital, and you want to run me out in one afternoon?
No, I'm thinking about the hospital. It's no secret that Steve and I didn't exactly see eye to eye, but I will admit, he's a great administrator.
But he also spent most of his career in the ER, and that's where he is now.
And he's
Really
only
does
back
best.
there because he's taking the fall for all of us.
He's happier than I've ever seen him. I mean, he was a good administrator, but there are also things about it that made him miserable, like dealing with oversized egos. And I have to say, I've had a lot of experience with
Wow, you talk good.
that. You really don't think I'm up for this?
I think maybe you like the idea of it. And you're not thinking about the things that made Steve miserable.
I took this job, and I am going to follow through to the best of my ability.
Nobody will look down
And that
on you if you
means
don't,
that
Robin.
I get to schedule the surgeries. So don't worry, you will get your share of the challenging ones. But in the meantime, you get to learn something else. It's an opportunity for you too to learn sharing.
Do I have to go down to the daycare for that? No, seriously, like, do you have me scheduled down there already?